Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing in this lovely day, folks? It is Tuesday, February 28th, the last day of February. So, we're going to take a look at kind of seeing how HEX performed over the last month. We're also going to take a peek into possibly what's been going on with some of the purchases in HEX. There's been one particular entity referred to as God Whale number 2 that we're going to be taking a little peek at and diving a little bit further into as well, and just overall just having an absolute banger of a time. So if you enjoy this content and appreciate what's been putting out, then again, hit that subscribe button. I do a daily stream live every single day that you can come and gain any sort of insight and knowledge and come ask your questions, folks. Access to Lives has been going on an absolute tour. He's calling it the media tour. He's going through and just dropping some really, really good alpha knowledge to be shared with every single person out there. So if you haven't caught any of his streams lately, I highly, highly, highly advise going to check out his content, because guys, there is some information that we can all learn from, and it is some bullish freaking news. So I'm excited to see what's been going on, what's happening around the block, see what's happening around HEX. And without further ado, let's take a little peeky weeky at the actual performance of HEX as well. So folks, right now HEX is on an absolute tear. In fact, even earlier today, right before this stream, we just hit 7 cents. Now, we previously have hit 7 cents right here on February 21st. That was roughly around the time when Richard Hart came and gave us that last update. Now again, he did give us another update on the 26th, and you can see all of this momentum got ate up completely, partially because of God Whale number 2 as well. So we're going to be taking a look at what this actual candle was right here when it happened, because this was limit orders being filled like crazy, helping keep that price above the 5.8 cent threshold. And ever since then, we started the bullish rally again. And I've had this line drawn out since the beginning of the year. So we are still breaking above the trend line, getting it back above it, using it as a resistance. So an absolute banger of a time. Thank you so much, Bernard, for the new subscribe. Appreciate that as well. Real close to hitting 900 subs. So if y'all want to hit that number, then go ahead and keep on clicking subscribe. And we'll just keep on flying past 900 and on to the next big step of 1,000. But again, we're going to have some fun. We got some interesting news happening here in the very near future, where we are going to potentially be having Access Alive come on my channel. We're also going to be bringing on Fashion Coder. These dates are going to be set in stone here in the near future. Fashion Coder is on March 10th, and we are working on setting a date for Access to come on. But guys, it is an absolute banger of a time. Hopefully y'all are already subscribed to the channel. Come get some knowledge about what's going on. Come learn about the whole entire HEX Richard Hart ecosystem of HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. So we got Collins Crypto says maybe you can do a stream with BK Crypto Trader. Note, he isn't an RH believer, but he hasn't given me a reason why he is a disbeliever. I think the convo would be interesting. I actually don't know BK Crypto Trader, so if you want to, feel free to reach out to him, see if it's something that he would want. I don't know. I'm always welcome to have someone come on board and share their view of certain topics. We can have a friendly conversation and just kind of share each other's views on what's going on, because I think hearing a contrarian view sometimes is actually a good thing, and it's actually good to hear some other perspectives. And I mean by contrarian, I mean an actual real conversation, not someone on the Richard Hart stream where they have 4 lawyers who can do nothing but just scream scam the whole time. That's not contrarian, that's just stupidity. And definitely don't welcome stupidity by any means, but if you're willing to come on, I'm willing to have you. Let's just say that. But yeah, definitely hit them up. See if it's something that can happen. You can find me on Twitter, ATX Crypt, if you want to DM me directly there as well. Facing Reality, what's up, my friend? Good day, Moon Mutt. Good day to you as well. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, all of you beautiful, beautiful people. So again, HEX has been on an absolute tear ever since the Richard Hart tweet on the 26th. We actually had this tweet pulled up, and we actually discussed this in the last stream. But on this one, he actually said stage 9 was complete. Devs beat the bugs and got stage 9 completed in Pulse Aragon. This means it's likely that the remaining metadata generating stages will complete as well. So bam, that's just some bullish freaking news. Plus, guys, I mean, HEX is literally in a perfect position to just be doing an absolute tear in the very, very near future. And we're going to look at a couple of different metrics on this as well. Now, I know Access has been going over a lot of it, and I'm actually going to be taking some of that knowledge and hopefully dispensing it to anyone who may be missing those streams as of recently. But this is the liquidity provided in HEX right now. And guys, there is not much liquidity, especially when we pass the 7-cent threshold. We really start getting into very low liquidity that people have the ability to buy HEX in. So it's going to get harder and harder and harder for people to buy HEX, and we all know what happens with supply and demand. If demand is high, supply, or if supply is low, demand is high, price go up, right? So that's essentially what we're getting into. We're reaching that little precipice right now where we're kind of getting onto the cusp of what's going to happen next, and we are moving along in this world very quickly, folks. We may be gone past the 3-cent HEX stage. Those days may be long behind us. I don't know, unless there's some sort of crazy news that comes from Richard Hart where he just says PulseChain's delayed indefinitely or something like that. I wouldn't say it's out of the ballpark in that scenario, but in normal scenarios, guys, we have been pushing, and once you see the HEX chart doing this, and essentially I'll zoom out just a smidge, but HEX has actually been going and making higher highs and higher lows, right? And we talk about this here on my channel, but anytime that you see higher highs and higher lows, that's a bullish indicator, okay? So we started here toward the end of February right here, and again, we started going into a higher high right here, again, a higher low as well, just based on this information. Higher high once again, higher low once again, higher high once again, higher low. You can kind of see where I'm going with this as well. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that we are making new all-time highs, local highs, should I say. Let me correct myself. We're making new local highs, and then we're making higher lows as well. And that is a bullish move, if I do say so myself. Even right here, where we previously hit this low of 5.4 cents, we've only had the wick come down and touch this very briefly before the liquidity was ate up by the Godwell number 2 address, who came in and bought 1,000 ETH worth of HEX in one go. 1,000 ETH, folks. Has not had any HEX before. You can track all the wallets. Does not have any HEX staked. Now, after this one transaction, they bought 1,000 ETH. That's $1.2 million, by the way, folks. I don't mean to say $1,000 worth of Ethereum. I mean 1,000 Ethereum. They were in on the Genesis wallet when Ethereum first launched. They came in and did this right here and went baboosh and freaking pushed the price all the way back up, almost to 6 cents once again, dang near once you started seeing the momentum happen, break above the 6 cent from everyone else starting to get back in again. So this one transaction hasn't really been touched again, so I'm going to count this as a higher low once again, and we are now seeing on the precipice of 7-cent HEX, currently sitting at 6.857 HEX. And in terms of what that means, once again, when we do start seeing 7.1, 7.2 HEX, we have not seen this previously. Even on this candle, we actually got as high as 7.024. Now again, today, we actually reached 7.010. So we did not quite beat that local high, but we are certainly close to passing this right here. Once again, bullish indicator from what I'm seeing. There's very low liquidity happening, as we can see based on all of this information. All in all, there's roughly only about $68 million locked in total and about $14 million available for purchase. Now, this can happen so fast where someone can come in. In fact, I believe Access Alive was saying it himself. He's got the friend of friends who's sitting on roughly $30 million, and they just can't come in and just buy $30 million worth of HEX because they're going to push the price against themselves in that scenario. But we can see them probably doing some smaller purchases of $100,000, $300,000, $500,000 worth of HEX, let the price come back down, capitulate for a little bit, go back in, purchase again, so they can offset some of the limit order or some of the slippage that's going to be happening. Even though it's only 0.3% slippage, a lot of them are actually moving over into the HEX ETH pair. And the reason why is because they want to make sure that everything is going to be good. Wrapped Ethereum, I mean. So they want to make sure that everything's good. And what's actually funny about this is I was looking into this as well based on all of the previous indicators. They're actually looking into this area here where they're doing a 1% slippage, 0.3% slippage, but even then, total value locked is very little money in this scenario. I mean, overall, if we zoom in on this, there's probably what, 2.29 million that can get ate up pretty quick. But a lot of folks are actually going with the idea of going with Ethereum to get their HEX. Now, I actually have another theory as to why they're going and doing this. And a lot of the folks who are currently holding Ethereum, and in fact, we'll just kind of show you the address that recently had that happen. This was Godwell number 2 is what they're being deemed as right now. Godwell number 2 is 1C99. This address right here, DA1C99. Well, this address is still sitting on $15 million, $15.5 million worth of Ethereum because they still have 9,400 Ethereum in this one wallet alone. Silver the Antidote actually went and did a little bit further digging and found out that this particular wallet is actually linked to 3 other wallets associated with Genesis Ethereum, meaning they were in when the very first block happened when Ethereum was launched. They were essentially holding Ethereum since the inception of Ethereum. So this amount of money, they got a long-term vision already. They're understanding, they've heard about HEX. Now they're seeing the mentality of the whale pods moving together is what's being stated. So as a whale starts entering an ecosystem, usually other whales will also become interested into that ecosystem. And a lot of folks don't want this 9,000 Ethereum to just be instantly diluted when PulseChain launches. Now, what do I mean by that? When PulseChain launches, PulseChain is going to be multiplied. Ethereum is going to be multiplied 1.2 million times to match PulseChain, right? Because there's going to be 1.2 million in the supply, and so for one Ethereum, they're only going to get 1 pulse, which is a terrible ratio because you used to be able to get 10,000 pulse for $1. So 1 Ethereum is going to get copied over because it's a layer 1 coin to a layer 1 coin is going to get copied over, and instead of Ethereum, they're going to have Pulse. It'll be the new transaction token when PulseChain launches. They're only going to have 1-to-1, meaning they are going to be majorly diluted. And a lot of these folks who are holding this amount of Ethereum right now don't want to see that dilution happen. Why would they want to? So in fact, a lot of these folks are probably going to start moving into other ecosystems, other ERC20s, and might as well start looking into something that that pays you additional yield while holding it by staking it, like this whale did right here. So they are going to be moving this 9,000 Ethereum, not all of it, don't get me wrong, but some of their balance into another ERC20 so they don't get instantly diluted when PulseChain launches. And then they can move that into HEX as a tool to make some more yield while they're waiting for PulseChain to launch. Because when PulseChain launches, we're going to get a copy of all the ERC20s and all the ERC721s. It's literally forking the entire Ethereum network. Now we know this already, but some folks don't know because they are just learning about it. Some folks may have just heard about PulseChain for the very first time today. And these folks may be in a situation where they are holding 100 Ethereum, 500 Ethereum, 9,000 Ethereum, for example, and they don't realize that when PulseChain launches, they will be diluted by 1.2 million X. That is not a good dilution ratio. It essentially would take a lot of time to make that up. So how can you offset that? You put a portion of your bag into something like HEX, for example. And that's what this whale did right here. This whale ended up purchasing some HEX 2 days ago, and not only did they purchase HEX, they also staked it for 30 days as well. So this whale just went through, bought HEX, very first time purchasing, by the way, has not had any other HEX previously, and not only did they do that, they actually sent it all immediately to stake. So they must have somebody helping them out, or at least they got their ear to the ground about how to stake and what is the true benefit. And we've looked at this before in the past. But if we come over here and actually pull up this particular wallet, this is go.hex.com, where you can look at the actual staking information as well. And with all of this information, it's actually pretty interesting because, again, they've never staked before. They don't have any prior closed stakes. You can see it all right here. They did one stake right here, and they essentially locked it up. So they did, for a little bit longer than 30 days. My apology. I don't know why I thought it was 30. In my head, I thought it was 30, but they did it for essentially 2 months, right? So they did it from February 26th up until May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, if you will. And on that already, they've already earned 9.21% APY as of right now. So they did 28 million HEX. They've already earned 14,000 yield in what is essentially just 2 days, because this first day doesn't necessarily count. The 26th, it rolls over. Y'all already know. So the 27th was the first day they actually got paid. And if you don't understand this, how that mechanic works, it works in the sense of it rolls over on UTC time. So at 0000, that is when your stake will actually get locked in. So they staked it on the 26th. It didn't get locked in until 0000 UTC time, which is 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is why you're seeing 6 p.m. right here, I'm assuming. And then from there, they actually got the yield yesterday. So today they're going to get yield once again from HEX trustlessly without having to do anything additionally besides stake their HEX. This is a smart player in this ecosystem, and this will turn into even more money by the end of this 60-day stake is what we're expecting. So very, very curious to see, really freaking awesome to see as a matter of fact, and we can actually do the math on some of this as well. The daily payout on average over the last 30 days is sitting at 6.624%, or 6.62 HEX per T-share. In the last 7 days, 7.2, but we're gonna go based off the last 6 months. Let's not just get too crazy here. So the last 6 months, the average daily payout per T-share that you have is 6.396. Well, this particular whale right here has 1,140 T-shares. And I'll show you kind of how this math plays out. But 1,140 T-shares times 6.3, what was it? 6.39? 6.396. And I'll go back over here. So 6.396, whoops, so there's a calculator, 6.396. That means they're getting, on average, 7,200 HEX every single day. That's incredible. Now again, let's do this fun math as well. Kick it out to the full 60 days. Oh man, it just lost it. 1140 times 6.396 times 60, which is the full length of their stake. That means this particular whale, God Whale number 2, as we're referring to them as, is going to be earning 437,000 HEX over the next 60 days alone. This is a great place to earn some additional yield, especially if you are a big player in the ecosystem where you don't necessarily have to go all the way out to get the maximum return. You can still get some great return by just doing a 60-day stake in this example. Now, if you are smaller, probably less than, I'll even say 100,000 HEX, so you may only get, I don't know, 5 T-shares, for example, it's probably gonna end up benefiting you more to think long-term, not necessarily 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but maybe even a year or 2 years, right, in those scenarios. And the smaller amount of HEX that you have, you probably wanna go longer to end up offsetting the gas fees that you're gonna end up paying and actually make sure that the yield that you generate based on that stake is actually profitable. So that was a lot to say. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing to anyone, and hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. But if y'all got some questions, come on down and ask them around. Let's see what's going on real fast with Chad. Good day, my friend. What's up? Love your streams. Thanks for all you do for the community. Crypto Kid, thank you as well for the love. Appreciate the message. Houston, we got liftoff. Absolutely, folks. We are looking phenomenal, if you ask me. And guys, in just the last, I mean, heck, we can even do the math on this. In just the last 3 days alone, HEX has already gone up 32%. This is freaking phenomenal. And in the near future, HEX has already done a 3x since the beginning of the year, folks. That's less than 60 days. You could have 3x your money had you got back in when HEX was 1.7 cents. Now, timing the bottom, timing the top, incredibly difficult. But you can offset some of that by setting limit orders. We talk about that here on my channel as well. But again, in the very near future, folks, this is kind of what's being projected right now. As a matter of fact, where did it go? What did I do with it? 1 second. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Interesting. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's the liquidity back. Yep, I know that one. We got Silver the Antidote, Rugsy, Millinote. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, let me dive in and pull this up on a different screen once again. For whatever reason, it didn't necessarily save on that one. So I want to kind of showcase this one. I might as well just go in here. So might as well showcase this one real quick while we're talking about it. So right now, HEX did the golden cross on the moving average, roughly about what was that? 6 days ago on February 22nd, and that's when the 50 MA ends up moving above the 200 MAs, so we can see that happen right there. First time in HEX's existence. Once again, bullish pattern, a bullish momentum move right here, and we've been nothing but bullish since that point in time as well. Well, we can actually break it down on the EMA as well. HEX has just recently done that on the EMA, where they just had the golden cross happen once again here on the EMA, folks, and this is an incredible moment of time. Once again, the 50 EMA just crossed the 200 EMA. That is the golden cross on the EMA pattern, and we do have a long signal happening as well. So we are looking very, very bullish on this one since this point in time. Very good to see. I'm very curious because, yeah, once you have this cross happen on the EMA pattern, that is phenomenal. So let me zoom out just a smidge here and go into the other protocol here. So 1 second, Uniswap. And I'm just gonna go to here, where this is when HEX was first created, and I use this chart for fun. But this is a fun little pattern here. Again, this is since HEX's existence, December 2nd of 2019. Well, if we actually break this down into a pattern of a parallel wave and a parallel momentum to kind of see what may be possible here in the very near future as well with HEX, then you can see if we break it down from the all-time low of the big payday point in time to even the all-time low of over here, 1.7 cents, then we can see we have a nice little parallel chart or a parallel pattern happening right here. So if we zoom in on this, you can see we just recently, this is that same little momentum line right here. We just recently bounced off this little pattern for the parallel chart. And again, once again, bullish news. So we can see what we're probably anticipating to end up getting back into the higher points of over here, which is putting HEX in the ballpark of anywhere between 15 to 16 cents, and again, even on the low side, somewhere in the ballpark of about 12 to 7 cents. We're looking here very, 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 very near future for where we could see HEX moving. So I wanted to share that information because, guys, there are so many bullish indicators right now. I can go through and we can just keep on listing and listing and listing. But this is definitely an opportunity that you do not want to miss out on. If you did not have a chance to maybe get HEX down here on the lower side of this 1.7 cent level, then maybe you start looking to still DCA in. It is still an opportunity that you can maximize a quick 2, 3, 5x return and actually hold it even further in the long term, where we're projected even better numbers, seeing something in the ballpark of, you know, roughly, and if we break this down, I'll show you, seeing something in the ballpark of, zoom, there we go, seeing something in the ballpark of about $26 come next 2024 range. Again, this $26, $25, $26 here, this is a pretty good pattern, and even if we come back down based on this same trajectory of the parallel chart right here, you can see we're probably going to bounce off it again come October, which puts us in this 10-cent region. But again, we may be seeing that $1 region by November. And again, from where we're sitting right now, from 6 cents or 7 cents to a $1, that is a massive return of your investment that you're not going to find in any other stock or any other thing like that that's actually more or less shown that we're going to be doing this same sort of pattern. Again, not financial advice. You still have to make that decision for yourself when you click buy. Be a big boy or girl and accept responsibility for your decision to click that button. But once again, if we come back down here, even in 2025, it looks like the low we'll be seeing is somewhere in the ballpark of 88 cents to 90 cents. So even right now, that would still be a 10x above 2 years from now, on the lower side of where HEX may end up getting 2 years from now, folks. This is incredibly bullish, if you ask me. I cannot explain to you how incredible that is. So in 2 years' time, we are gonna no longer be in the realm of 10 cents. Now, we may still be in the realm of 10 cents this year. By October, like we had discussed, there could be some sell-off when PulseChain happens. We know there's going to be some things happening, but absolutely some bullish stuff here, showing 88 to 90 cents by 2025 as the low. Oh my gosh, that is freaking insane, folks. So let's just take another look over here. We have an update going on with the GitLab. This is the developers of PulseChain. I check out this information all the time in each day on my streams because I am very curious to know kind of exactly what's going on. And again, can we find out any information with it? Probably not, but is it fun to look at? Absolutely, okay? So what I ended up doing was I noticed that Brett Paulson, once again, has been active. And this is just some freaking crazy stuff here. Brett Paulson has been active. Once again, as of February 27, 2023, we have SJB sitting over here, February 27, 2023 as well. 3 Commas Capital, February 26. And if y'all missed the stream yesterday, we have Richard Hart, who has been active on GitLab. He has not been active since September, folks. This is the most bullish news that I can share probably at this point in time, besides just saying V3 testnet's here and it's going live. So I wanted to, now that I kind of mentioned that, this is freaking insane. But let's just take another little peeky weeky at chat, guys. I want to say what's up to some folks who are tuning in for the first time, coming in, checking it out, seeing if y'all got any questions that y'all want to share. Oh my god, we is live. Yes, sir, sure are. Alan Fizame, how are you? Good afternoon, Hexikins. What's up? Hey, ATX, thank you for all your streams. They have been something to look forward to on a daily for me. I appreciate that, Alan. I definitely do love that. Also, your audio sound is a bit off, like you're in the wind tunnel. Oh no. Oh, cranked up my fan. It's probably picking up my fan all the time. So that sucks. I wish I would have seen that way sooner. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Crypto Compassion, what's up, my friend? Facing Reality, Hex Force, Crypto Compassion. Good to see you. Good to see every single one of you beautiful people. What's up? Everyone's saying Alan Fizame. Yes, we definitely love Alan, man. Absolutely. Smash the like and the subscribe. Crypto Jake, listen to the man. He's a smart guy. Love the support through every single one of you beautiful folks. We got that little laugh coming from Alan. Love it. I wish, but I am so happy with my 1.998. Yeah, dude, that's a freaking phenomenal entry. Again, like, you still 3x the money as of right now if you had a 2-cent level. And I want to share this information with folks who may have been, you know, purchasing HEX back in the day. But Debbie, what's going on? Patreon supporter right there. Appreciate all the love as well from you and the support of you and your husband. Now, I wanted to share some information because I think it kind of commonly gets misconstrued on this one. So I wonder if I can share this here. No, I won't go here. I'll just do it on a calculator. And you know, how do I want to do this? Draw. What if I draw? Okay, so let's just delete the drawings. Discard. Okay, so I can come over here. All right, and we'll just go right here. Okay. So for those folks who may not understand, this is some fun math for every single one of you to kind of see. Hex at one point in time actually reached 56 cents. Now, for ease of math, I'm just gonna say 50 cents. If you had bought $1,000 worth of Hex back in the 50-cent range, then, or times, whoops, let me go, can I undo that? Erase. Oh, that's not the erase button, that's a draw button. Erase. Okay, cool. So if we end up doing that times the 50-cent region, well, then again, oh, I love the drawing on this one. Let me actually just make sure all my math is, they said, uh-oh, not math. I want to make sure all the numbers are in fact good. I know this is all pretty easy, but I'd rather be correct than try to figure out later. So this would have only gotten 500 hex, okay? So that's $1,000 worth of hex back when it was 50 cents, okay? Well, if you had the opportunity to scoop up some additional hex, maybe you didn't buy anything in between, but maybe hex ended up going down all the way $1,000 and you were able to scoop up that hex to 0.2 cents now, okay? Well, at this point in time, you've actually ended up turning that $1,000 into 20,000 hex, okay? 20,000 hex. Now let's just kind of make sure we have the fun math on this one here once again. 0.02 divided by 1,000. Did that one backwards as always. Yeah, so again, 20,000 hex. So yeah, in this scenario, if we just average those two together, okay, so we're just gonna average these together once again, leave it to ATX to remind me of my top buys, LOL. Well, Alan, this is to remind everyone that hopefully some of y'all are already positive without even realizing it, okay? So if you had done this, you would essentially have 20,000 hex here times 0.02. Hold on, give me 1 second. I feel like my math is backwards once again. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not the microphone. All right, give me 1 sec, because again, I want to make sure that everyone has a good understanding of how all this could work and benefit everyone for the most part pretty easily. Swap.cow. All right, cool. And we're gonna go here, limit. We're gonna say USDT 1,000, and we're just gonna say hex. I'll let the computer do all the math for me so I don't have to. There you go, makes things so much easier, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, so my math is actually wrong, so that's a good thing I checked it. So once again, let's just erase that number because it is actually 50,000 hex. Yeah, I'm tripping. So once you actually have 50,000 hex to 500 hex, this is 1,000 purchased at 50 cents. This is 1,000 purchased at 2 cents. Well, you would actually have a total of 50,500 hex. This is actually kind of curious. I've never done this before with y'all live, so it's kind of interesting. But if you divide this by the $2,000 that you've actually invested, which again, 2,000 here, 500 here, got you here, 50,000 hex here, get you a total of 50,500 divided by 2,000. Well, then you would actually have 50,500 divided by 2,000 would actually have, why is that math not working out? What am I doing wrong here? Divided by 50,500. Yeah, so if you do 2,000, and I actually did, let me just correct it just to make sure everyone has a good understanding. We're gonna get rid of this and that regard, and go here, and actually do it this way, because it's actually 2,000 up here, $2,000 divided by 50,500 hex. The entry price, your average at that point in time, average price of hex would end up being, oh, and I can see myself kind of scooting over just a smidge on it. Do I have to undo the, okay. I thought it said save. Where'd it go? Where'd it all go? No! Okay, oh my God. Oh, first time trying this out, right? It's always fun to try out something for the first time live on stream. Might as well. Perfect time to figure it all out. But anyways, the average price that you would have based on those purchases at $1,000 at 50 cents, $1,000 at 2 cents would actually bring an average of 0.039 cents. Okay, now this is incredible because right now we saw it just a moment ago, but the price is actually at 6.857 hex. So if we just look at that same math, you're already up 2x because currently the price is at 0.685, right? So if you just multiply that times 2, well, you've already 2x'd your money. Even if you bought in with the 1,000 at 50 cents, and then another 1,000. Ooh, this is sloppy. Anyways, this is what happens whenever you try drawing with the mouse, but I hope y'all can understand what I'm trying to express here. Even if you had bought in at the previous all-time high, guys, 50 cents, and I use these numbers just to make it simple for math-wise, you would have still already 2x your money for the average cost basis because your average basis was brought down to 0.39 cents. So the fun thing here is you can actually do this same math. Oh, I just had to hit escape. Interesting. And then I could have scrolled. Interesting. Good to know. All right. I'm learning. Cool. So this is exactly what I'm trying to say though. All these numbers kind of end up making it so that way you can have a good entry price still to this day. Now let's do the same math even right now. So we'll say you had bought $1,000 worth of HEX back at 50 cents. And again, we already know would have gotten you 500 HEX. 500 HEX. Well, even if you end up doing that same math now, it doesn't take too long to end up getting that average well above the overall price as well. So even if we go to the current market price and you end up doing $1,000 worth of HEX right now, 1,000 right now at 0.0668 cents. This is so sloppy. Can I change the style? Oh my God, I can. Oh my God, that would have been so much easier. Anyways, I'm learning. We're figuring it out together. I'm just having fun with everyone here. So even at right now, $1,000 would give you 14,523 HEX. Right now, at current price, okay? So even if you end up doing these same things together, we add these two once again, we're sitting at 15,023 HEX, okay? Well, $2,000 divided by 15,000, let's just do that same math. 2,000 divided by 15,023 would still bring the average to 13 cents. So if we do $2,000, which is again the total of what you've had, divided by 15,023 HEX, 23 HEX, well, you would have an average entry price right now at 0.133 cents. So all HEX has to do, just to kind of break this down and make it easy for you, all HEX has to do is end up getting into the 13-cent region. You've already broke even. And it looks like we're probably going to end up hitting this 13-cent region here in the very near future, somewhere between 7 to 13 cents. So if you are, in fact, one of the people who did buy during these higher highs, then maybe you have a good entry price right now today to still have a good entry price here, because when we end up reaching 20 cents or 26 cents, for example, you've gone in 2x your money even if you bought back when it was 50 cents, as long as you have a good entry level to get back in. Now again, this is fun doing math on stream. It's always fun to kind of see how it's all going to turn out, but hopefully that made a little bit more sense for everyone, because again, I think I can share this down. I'll make it a lot easier overall. So that way it'll look better. Here we go. I'm gonna read the chat because y'all are just fucking hilarious, man. And this is what happens when you do live math on stream, right? You know. So let's have fun with what we actually got. One, go back to this. Smash that like and subscribe for all the fun crayon math that you get from a Marine right there. And yeah, Alan Fisme. And Debbie, what's up? What's up? Uh-oh, not math. Facing reality says lol. Leave it to ATX to remind me of my top buys. 0.06839 was what the current price was at right now. Yes, sir. I want to buy more. Absolutely. 0.04, good entry level, and that's kind of the average previously of what we just talked about. Should you have gotten 1,000 at 50 cents and 1,000 at 2 cents, a good entry price, your average is somewhere around 4 cents. Good price to know right there, right? We may never see these prices again. These are facts. And based on this chart right here, it looks like eventually we will no longer pass this point in time where 10 cent will be the lowest point that we'll see in HEX's existence going forward in the future. So yeah, guys, don't miss out on an opportunity trying to get greedy. I think greed is a huge factor that defeats a lot of people, and I don't want anyone to be defeated. You know what I mean? I'm here at my job getting value. Thanks, ATX. I appreciate that, Anthony. Yeah, 0.025. Your math's wrong. 1,060 cents get you 2,000 HEX. Well, yeah. What? What? That math is wrong. What? Am I tripping? At 60 cents get you 2,000 HEX. At 50 cents. You're right, dude. My math went all backwards instantly. I've been wrong the whole time. Oh my God. All my math is wrong. Motherfucker. All right. Oh, does that look so much nicer? Let me know if this looks nicer in chat. 1,000 times 50 cents. Could have been smart if I had just done the math in my head. Instead, I relied on trying to make sure that I did it good for y'all, so I tried doing it there and just did it times 50 cents and it said 500. Yeah, that's actually 2,000. So y'all are absolutely correct there. 2,000 HEX here at 50 cents. And again, 1,000. Ooh. This just looks ugly. Maybe it's just because I'm using a mouse and I don't have any pad. Maybe I have to wait until I have some sort of tablet and I can just draw on it. But that would make things look so much prettier in my opinion. So we'll say at 0.02 cents, right? And we've already kind of ended up doing this as well. But it would end up getting you roughly 50,000 HEX. So 50,000 HEX. All right, y'all kind of get what I'm trying to say. Maybe I just need to put H or something like that instead of trying to write out HEX. So you still end up getting 52,000 HEX. Okay, this makes more sense now. 52,000 HEX. Now, if you divide the 2,000 divided by 52,000, I think I can do the fun math there. I think that does, in fact, come out to the same. 52,000 ends up being 0.039. So this will bring the average at this point in time, average price, to 0.038 cents. That is freaking incredible. So again, that is how you win in this game right there. And I just drew right across it. It's funny. But that's how you win, folks. That's literally how you win. So even if we adjust some of these numbers here and we get rid of this for the 2 cent and adjust it to 6 cents because 6 cents is still probably in play. However, we are definitely moving further and further away from it. The further and further we get into the launch of PulseChain coming sooner and sooner. So yeah, I mean, just breaking this down over here, we're gonna have the same math at 0.06 cents would end up 0.06. Why can't I do that? Cool, there it goes. Yeah, 16,666 HEX. So 16,666. And you already know, adjust this, What is that, 18,666? Pretty easy there. And do the same thing for the average price divided by 2,000. So 2,000 divided by 18,666. brings that average price to 10 cents. Perfect. So we're gonna adjust these and bam. Okay. So even if you were to get in at 6 cents right now with an average of 1,050 cents, with an average or an entry price of 1,050 cents, entry price of 1,006 cents, this still brings the average price for your total to 10 cents right there. And again, we are just an arm and a leg away, right? A hop, skip, and a jump away from being right back to 10 cents once again. And from there, you actually end up being positive on all the foregoing future prices as well. So when we end up hitting 20, you doubled your money, right? So on and so forth. Y'all can do the math on that. But yeah, I wanted to correct myself before. Obviously my math was wrong. Yeah, so it's 2,000, not 500. Huh? Yeah, I just confused the kind of everyone. Hopefully I went back and corrected what I was talking about, because yeah, that was definitely crazy. Using a spreadsheet would be so much simpler, prospector. Don't tempt me with a good time, because you know, that just makes too much sense now. Especially considering that I use a spreadsheet for literally everything else. But I just wanted to have fun drawing. It was a new little feature that I saw, and I was like, oh, I'll do it right here. And so you already know this is why you don't do math live on stream, right? This is exactly why. So we got Debbie laughing. Math is racist these days. Average cost is 0.0385. Exactly, yep, it's math for me. Boom, sure is, yep. An average price of 52,000 hex at the 50 cent level and at the 2 cent level would bring an average 52,000 divided by 2,000 with an average cost of 0.385. So bam, I feel good about my math skills now, lol. Oh my God, no. I know. Team Alliance, it was too late. It was too late. I couldn't help it. Today's stream was brought to you by Elementary Maths. Just use MS Paint. Yeah, probably, you know, could make things a lot easier. Use crowns. Yeah, I'm a Marine. I just stuff crowns on my nose whenever I get a Marine. If I ever get a freaking crown in my head, if I ever get a crown in my hand, I just stuff it right up my nose, because I don't really know what to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, this is all crazy. Good day. What's up? What's up? Love it, bro. Absolutely. This can be done in your head easily. You know, it could have been if I actually tried, but I didn't try at all. I gave zero effort in trying to do any math in my head and type it into a calculator, and then bam, everything went crazy off the rails from there. So that's how simple that was. Can you do the math if someone bought it $631 at 47? Oh my God. But do it with crowns. Big GZ changed that profile pic once again. Loving it. What's up, my friend? Hello. Moon math, no expectations. Absolutely. Don't forget your daily DCA if you're staked. Exactly. Good afternoon, ATXicans. Hello, hello, my friend. How are you, Doug? ATX questioning his existence. the KS Alf. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening. And this is what happens when you do live stream on math. Long math, no quick man here. Yeah, exactly. CoinGecko helps as well. See how much hex you can get with the amount of money. Well, like I said, I was having fun, right? I was having fun, guys. I was having fun, and it was still fun. Y'all get to have a fun little point in chat and just kind of point out how silly and ridiculous we can be sometimes. But it's all good stuff, because it's definitely good for people to realize that even now today at the current price, if you had bought back at the previous high of 50 cents, you can still lower your average right now by buying in the 6 cent region and have a very good opportunity going forward in the future as well. Yep, maybe you ought to start smoking weed again. Dude, actually, you know, it's funny that you say that, man, because there are days that I'm like, I think I performed better whenever I was just high and didn't give a fuck, right? You know what I mean? Like you relax, and everything's calm, everything's all chill, and then some of this actually you can figure it out without even thinking about it. But now that I don't smoke or drink or do any sort of fun vices besides coffee, if you will, now it's my newest vice that I've kind of picked up, but I've had ever since marrying my wife. She wanted to get me into coffee. I didn't drink caffeine for the longest time. And then, you know, she's like, coffee. And I eventually slowly started drinking coffee with her, but you know, it's delicious now. All right, yep. All right, time to go push slush off the driveway before it freezes and becomes a skating rink. Oh my gosh, damn. That's crazy. Whales, smokes weed, and crushes math. Take notes, ATX. Facts. Hot here in Australia, smoking a Scooby. Hey, you're cool, bro. What up, ATX and Hexicans? How are you, Bright Light? Love it, bro. You rock, ATX. Thanks, Crypto Jake. Of course, I had that fun little math issue as you have when you try to do live math on stream. But to make it simple and easy for everyone, there will no longer be that kind of live math drawing going forward. I will type everything into my nice little pretty spreadsheets, and I will actually end up making that probably later this afternoon so I don't have to go through that again. So y'all will actually get to see it done a lot faster, a lot smoother, and it'll just make so much sense. It'll look a lot prettier. Overall, just an absolute better time. So come back, subscribe to the channel, and you'll definitely see some better math done correctly next time. But hopefully I was able to at least go back and correct myself and at least fix the issues that I mentioned. I did go through, and you know, we are humans, we have some errors, and that's just part of how life works sometimes, especially when you're doing it over time. So appreciate all the love and support to every single one of y'all who are sticking around and having fun with my terrible math in that regard. But again, this is why we make spreadsheets, and I am really good at making spreadsheets, so I don't know why I wouldn't do that, but I just had the theory in my head to pop up, and I was like, I'll do it right now. So going back over here, let's talk about the Silver the Antidote. He actually went and did a little bit of digging himself into the God Whale 2 address, right? Now, I tried finding this information out myself, and you know, personally, I wasn't able to find it. I didn't spend too long because I went and listened to Axis's live stream, and then I followed up with Crypto 7's stream with Axis as well. And so he was dropping just some crazy good knowledge, and I love hearing the information that he shares. So it was more or less a situation where I didn't try to dive in too crazy, but based on the preliminaries from what I found, I couldn't find these wallets tied to the Genesis address, but I could have just been missing it, and maybe I have to dive in a little bit deeper. But this is one of the wallets right here, and this is going back to that God Whale 2 address that we've been talking about right here, sitting on currently 9,500 Ethereum in terms of the wallet value, sitting at 15 million just in Ethereum alone. They just recently moved over some of this into a HEX, which we recently saw. This was the address DA1C99, as we've seen. They bought 28 million HEX, and then they staked it for 60 days up until Cinco de Mayo. So I was trying to go through here because he broke down some screenshots showing that, again, this Genesis address relates to this amount. He breaks down this Genesis address relating to it, and then one more Genesis address down here saying that it relates to it once again. But you can see on the two, they are all different addresses, and none of them are the address that we're looking at right now for DA1C99. So I wanted to do a little bit more research before like just saying that I didn't necessarily come to the same conclusion as Silver the Antidote, but the dude has done the at least preliminary research to say that this wallet could be associated with a Genesis Ethereum address, which is just massive for the ecosystem, because that's someone literally saying that they have the Ethereum address from when the launch of Ethereum, and then they didn't sell it, they didn't trade it, they didn't do anything stupid with it, and then they're still holding it. That's incredible, folks. And we know that the true God Whale has like 800,000 Ethereum Genesis. So that is a crazy freaking amount. It's still a wild number to see overall. But yeah, he did the math for us, and I wanted to share this little information overall. Now, lastly, I ended up pulling up a little tweet over here on my page, and ended up getting kind of a good little amount of views over here. But I do a daily motivation thing to anyone who wants to follow. You're welcome to come on over to my Twitter and give me a follow over there. I just post these little daily crypto motivations. Today's quote: "Don't be afraid to take risks. Cryptocurrency is not for the faint of heart, but for the bold and brave." And again, I do these little daily quotes, so if y'all want to enjoy that, you can. I have these little areas that I made, which is made from Midjourney. Having an absolute blast making these thumbnails, so if y'all have something that you're wanting to request, maybe we can definitely see some information here. But the reason why I'm pulling this up right now, and the reason why I'm talking about my page, is I had also posted a tweet where I go through here and I say, I don't see anyone else talking about this. Only 15 stages now instead of 16. What are y'all's thoughts on PulseChain launch with this info? And again, you can see there's only 15 stages shown here, and it used to show 16. So I was like, only 15 stages, what happened to stage 16? And I probably got more replies and messages back than I've ever received, at least on my Twitter, in terms of some actual fun engagement. But Brett Tepp came through, and guys, if you don't know this already, Brett Tepp is the same person right here as one of the developers of PulseChain. So he came through and actually sent a reply as well. He said, upstream removed a stage in the middle of the sync. We pulled in the change as we were fixing the bug. Nothing too exciting. And I was like, no, I thought there was something huge. I thought it was something like massive to be paying attention to. And then he sends the information as to what it was, and I've read it, some good information here. Thanks for the daily activity in GitLab. I always give him a shout out on the streams, and y'all already saw it. I gave him a shout out earlier today. He said stage 16 isn't done. This is from Gamma DevOps, another developer in Ethereum. But again, this is like, I was showing what it was before. This shows 16 stages, right? And again, like for those of y'all who didn't see that, whoops. Back in the day, this is what it was showing. It showed 8 out of 16. And I was like, okay, well, what happened to stage 17 then, right? Or what happened to stage 16 here? Because now there's only 15 showing. And again, Brett Tepp came through clutch on that and answered the question. They essentially just got rid of it to make sure that everyone knows upstream removed a stage in the middle of the sync. Well, cool. So the fact that he's still active on Twitter, I've said this before, go through and give him a follow. It's at Brett Tepp. You can make sure, if you want to make sure you have that name spelled correctly, go into GitLab. All the names are spelled the same here. I would recommend going through and just following all these folks for the developers of PulseChain, because these are people who are doing some freaking amazing work, and I applaud and appreciate every single one of you beautiful people with all the work that you're putting in. So I wanted to share that because I had kind of mentioned it in one of my streams yesterday when Richard Hart made the announcement. And yeah, it was kind of an interesting scenario, right? So Dr. H, what's up? The Cryptopractor. Caught you on my travels back to England. It's late and I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Thanks for your crypto service, Dr. H. It always feels weird driving on the other side of the road, coming from wherever you are, right? Part of my military stint, I stayed in Japan, and they actually drive on the left side of the road, which is, you know, backwards for us. So like steering wheel's on the opposite end, everything's just backwards. So if you're used to driving a manual, for example, you start shifting with your right hand instead of your left. Like you do here in America, and so it was, or at least in the U.S. And so it was just very curious. I lived there for a period of time for so long that whenever I would come home, it actually felt weird driving back on the correct side or the right side of the street, right? Because like you in Japan, like when you go to a stop sign, you can turn left. Right? It's okay to turn. It's the same like idea. You can turn left if you come to a stoplight, or turn left when you come to a stop sign. But you can't turn right because then you're crossing traffic, right? When you come back here to the U.S., it's the exact opposite, right? When you come to a stoplight and you want to turn right, you can typically. You come to a stop sign, you want to turn right, you can. So it's just so funny, but hopefully you have safe travels in your time in England. I hope all the people that you're with is also safe, and you know, just have an absolute banger of a time. That Genesis Wallace could be Randy Alarski's whale friend. There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of folks that it could be. You know what I mean? That's a guess. Like dude, Access Alive mentioned it himself, right? He's got friends in the game who's sitting on, you know, $30 million. They're friends of friends sitting on $30 million waiting to get in. But you know, with the liquidity as low as it is right now in HEX, it's pretty difficult to end up getting into. It's pretty difficult to end up getting in without pushing the price up against yourself. You know, so it's just very curious thoughts, very interesting thoughts. I wanted to share all this information with every single one of y'all because, again, we are just so freaking blessed to be here at this point in time. You know, time keeps on ticking, and we already know that PulseChain is going to be coming in the very, very near future. All expected within this year is what the word on the street is, right? 4 more weeks, as they say. But I hope, hopefully, when it does come out, we get a chance to play with it. Another thing that I wanted to kind of switch my thought process on was I think that we are in fact getting a V3 launch, right? Based on Richard Hart's tweet. He literally said the words launch in his tweet, and that just means that I think it's actually going to go public. We are going to have a chance to use it and test it. And so when that time comes, if you are subscribed to the channel, then you are going to get to see me go through and have all the fun there. It'll be a lot more interesting instead of trying to do silly elementary math here on stream. It'll be a lot better to actually learn different situations and how to play the system when V3 does launch. And I can assure you that I'm a lot better in that regard too. So either way, I hope every single one of you have a beautiful day. I will be here tomorrow. Once again, as always, my name is ATX Crypto. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.